What do I do? There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heart of a Hobbit here on the official twitch.tv Lotro stream channel. I am your host, Little Redhead, and I will be taking you around the world of Middle Earth along with this fly that keeps coming by. I've got my trusty cloth ready to whip it. All right. It's summertime and the flies are about. I don't remember the song that had that involved. So let's see. Oh, yes. While I'm here, hello, Sam. We're going to grab ourselves a loyal attendant. And look at that. He's got a ring for us. And we're going to do a little quest with him. He says, what I learned in all my travels is that you never know where you might find your next meal. Let me see if there's anything extra in my pack that you might use to make a meal in a time of need. And he searches through his pack. He says, it may not look like much. Trust me, in a time of need, you'll be happy you have this. It's very cute. So hello, Spindot. All right, so then I'll go ahead and finish the quest. And he talks about taters, carrots, mushrooms, onions. Excuse me, got a little something in my throat there. Allspice. He talks about a whole bunch of different things. And so you finish now, and he gives you a little package, a little gift from Samwise, and you open it up, and this time he gave me carrots. I have a fresh carrot from Sam. So that is super cute. I really like that. So this is a special deal that you can get right now. And let me find the code for that, because the deal on this ends like today, I think is the last. Okay, the code expires tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So use this code. Hang on, let me put that in the chit chat there. And you get that, you use that code here in game in Lotro, and excuse me, you'll get a Samwise property guard, this little fellow here. You'll get a limited edition portrait frame, which, spoilers, it's up here at the top. Let me make sure you guys can see it. Let me put that back down. Yeah, that portrait frame up there in the tippy top, it's potatoes. It's a bunch of different potatoes. It's very cute. And let's see, what else do you get? You get a universal toolkit. And I think one other thing. What was it? Hang on, I just had it in front of me. Oh, and the writing skill. So if you don't already have a writing skill, that is also really handy. So make sure you use that today if you haven't already. Now you only get one. So make sure you choose which server you want that to be on, and you only get one of these portrait frames. So you'll want to choose wisely on which character, because only one of your characters is going to get it, sadly. Because I would love to have had that for every one of my characters. I think it's so cute. All right, so what we're going to do today is the Midsummer Festival. Today is the last day of the Midsummer Festival. So while we're here in housing, we're going to grab ourselves a couple of ingredient crates. And then we're going to pop ourselves, actually I don't need to go to the middle of town. I'm going to pop myself over to Minas Tirith, because that is where the action is happening during this festival. And I apologize if I sound a little funny. I feel like I'm a little under the weather and my head has just been like clogged. I've been taking allergy stuff because it's been hay fever, but it doesn't feel like hay fever. Anyway, I went to the chiropractor though, and it did clear it up a little bit, so that was nice. Okay, so let's see, where are we at? Let's pick up Midsummer, and we're going to use our quick guide here within the Festival Buddy. I'm using Festival Buddy 2, and I just realized that I'm over here on Treebeard, because we were on Crook Hollow last week. So let me change this, that we are back on the Treebeard server. Get that up there. So if anybody's curious about where are you, that's where I am. Now, let's see. It looks like I may have already picked up that quest from her. So let me pull up my festival. Pull up my quest, because where am I? What am I in the middle of here? Sometimes I do that. I'm like in the middle of it, and then I just kind of bail. So let's see. That's the Midsummer stuff. And then Festival, I have, yes, participate in the celebration of Midsummer, is 0 of 10. So that is the 10 quests that I need to do. Okay, so I've already picked up the basic quest from her. So I need to go to the top, to the high stables, and pick up the quests up there. Dismount. Whoops. Yes, I know I have stuff, but hang on, let me dismount. I have allegiance rewards because we kind of have been doing that in between festivals on stream here, and so I've got some stuff I need to go collect for that next time we are streaming in between festivals, which would be next week, I believe then. I also have some mail to deal with, so maybe I'll grab that real quick here. Hey, kitty cat. The cats have been coming and going. We have 2 cats, and they've been enjoying the lovely weather. We have a cat door to let them out into the backyard. We have it kind of enclosed in the backyard area they can go to. So, you know, before we get too far in Midsummer stuff, I'm going to go ahead and deal with my mail. So let me close the quick guide for a minute, and I'm going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to open up my inventory, and we're going to look at our mail. Hi, babe, you can come up. And so we had a party here on Treebeard on Saturday. And we had folks who were going away and giving away things during the party. So like pipeweed and hope tokens and drinks to give away. So, yeah, you can come up. Or you can put my lap. There you are. Hi, sweetie. This is Kato, in case anybody's curious. Hi, sweetie. No, she's just out of frame, huh? Yes, you are. Oh, there you go. Good job. Anyway, I'm going to detach these items. So now they're in my inventory, because my inventory needed more help. And so you see how it kind of is in separate piles. I'm using Prime bag, which has this cool feature where I can click on the bag here and it clumps like things together. So if I had clumps that were the same thing but in separate piles, it shuffles them together. So that's nice. That helps take up a little bit less inventory space. Okay, so let's go back to our quick guide. And we are going to pick up to the last drop. And we're going to pick up wedding supplies. But I don't think we're going to do lightning in a bottle. So I don't think we'll bother with that today. So I'm going to go over here to the cook and pick up his stuff. So I'm just kind of zooming through this stuff here. But if anybody is like, I mean, this is the last day of the festival. So hopefully you've had a chance to get in here and try it out. And if today's your first day at the festival, no big deal, no problem, but you are going to be able to do one day because today is the last day. But I'm happy to walk anybody through what I'm doing if you have questions and if you're like, wait, Midsummer what? But yes, we are at the Midsummer Festival. Everything is pretty much happening in Minas Tirith, a midsummer version of it. So it is after all the attacks and everything have happened. So it's a bit more peaceful, which is nice. All right, and we're going to head back down. So I've got Festival Buddy 2 that I'm using there. And within Festival Buddy 2, he's created, before has taken this on. Because there was a Festival Buddy by, I forgot the name of the person who developed that. Before would know. And hey, Pamela, welcome. And so there was a bunch of things that Before wanted to include in Festival Buddy, and he kept adding things as patches. And finally, he's like, "Hey, would you be cool if I just like made one?" And so this Festival Buddy 2 is being kept by Before, who does a lot of who's getting more and more of these plugins going. So one of the things he's included in this is this quick guide, which there's a button down here at the bottom. So like right here, and that toggles, that opens up this thing, sorry, not toggles, but opens up the thing way over there that I've shoved over there. You can put it wherever you want, like you could have it in the middle of your screen if you wanted, but I find that distracting. So I put it over on top of my quests because I've got that stuff there anyway, and I'm kind of following this guide. So now, so one of the things that's going on here is I was partway through the festival. I did my 10 and I left. So what I can do now with the Festival Buddy 2 is quests that I completed previously aren't showing up right now. Oh, because I finished the Florist's Daughter. Ha! I just turned that in. So I actually need to go up to the second floor. So I could reset the whole thing and then check off things I've already done. But I could do the other way around, which is leave it as it is. So this is stuff that I haven't completed, but it will, if I pick up a new quest, so let's go to the city stables. So I'm going to pick up this quest, and it's going to put it into, set into here now, and as well as all the chain of things that come with it. So like take the quest, pick up the brush, and pick up the apples, groom 3 horses, feed 3 horses, and then turn it in. So all those things are connected, right? And so because I picked up this quest, now this quick guide is like, woohoo, have all these things, ka-chonk. And then as I do them, it'll check them off, which is really cool. So Spundot says, after watching your stream last Tuesday and starting my character, I doubt I'll be able to get to the festival at level 8. Actually, you can do the festival at level 8. Maybe next year, you say. But you actually can do it if you wanted to. And actually, one of the fun things I like about this festival is that you only need 10 quests to finish the wrapper. And the wrapper gives you festival tokens. So you could like clean up a bunch on your first day. There's more than 10 quests that you can do to earn tokens. So you can earn like, because you get 3 tokens for most of the quests. And there's more than 10. So there's more than 30 tokens worth. I think you can earn between 50 and 100 tokens like in one day if you really push it. So you could get enough tokens to get, if there was like, if you wanted the mount or if there was any of the cosmetics that you wanted, you could get that done in a day. When you signed in, you probably got a mail, an in-game mail, that was that included a map, and that map will take you to this version of Minas Tirith that you need to get to. So yeah, so if you are out of, as a Tillerian here says, any level can join this festival if you are out of the introduction, and then you get a map to get here. So yeah, so if you still have that map, if you didn't sell it, that's the easiest way to get here. But you can also, let's see, if it's your first character, you probably don't have a house yet. Because in order to buy a house, you have to be level 15. So that's always the first thing I do on a server when I start, if I start somewhere new, is I like, get a character level 15, go buy a house. Okay, so it was checking these things off as we were doing these things here. So I'm going to turn this in, and bam, and that checks that off. Okay, so I'm going to go up. Okay, you did get a map. Awesome. You're in Combe doing quests. Very nice. That's a good place to go. Combe is pretty nice. Yeah, so the nice thing about this Minas Tirith here is there's no enemies, so you're not going to get like attacked by a wandering boar or anything. So you're fine to get here. Tillerian does point out that many stable masters will offer travel routes to Minas Tirith Midsummer. The starter areas do have that. So if you were an elf, you would have been near Celondim. That stable master could send you here. If you were a dwarf, you would have started off by Thorin's Hall, and there's a stable master there. If you were a hobbit, you would have started in the Shire, and so there's a stable master in Mickle Delving could do that. But you are in Combe, so you are Race of Man or Bjorning or one of those, because those get sent to Bree. So West Bree is the stable master that a lot of people use very regularly, but everything else in the world outside of Breeland, let me pull up a map real quick, just to kind of give you a more visual. So you're over here in Eriador, and you're over here in Breeland, in Combe. So you'll notice that, like, to the west, you've got the Shire, you've got Thorin's Hall and Celondim, Ered. But everything else in the world, let me zoom back out again. So we're talking about over here. Everything else in the world is kind of south of there, if you kind of think about it, south and to the east. So if you want to go to Minas Tirith, even Midsummer version, it's in Gondor, which is south and east. So you have to take the South Bree stable master. So, so that's, yeah. Yeah, Race of Man. I am not surprised by the fact that you said that you're in Combe. That's kind of how they break it out. That when you first start, yeah, you if you're a Race of Man, you get sent to Archet. If you're a Hobbit, you end up in Mickle Delving. If you're an elf, you end up over here in Celondim. And if you're a dwarf, you end up in Thorin's Hall. So the elves and the dwarves actually end up kind of overlapping some of their storyline, some of that early storyline stuff over in Ered, and it actually culminates in the same place. Whereas the hobbits and the Race of Man, and also Bjornings, kind of have a slightly different path. But eventually you all end up in Bree to go talk to Aragorn. So, how nice. So you're renting to Bree to find the South Stable Master. Yeah, sure. I can give you a little bit of help with that. Let's look at Bree Town. So you are out here in Combe. So, oh, I've got a whole bunch of stuff on the map. Let me see. Let me clear all the little icons. Okay, so you're up here in Combe, kind of in the middle of the map there. So you're going to come down into Bree Town, and you'll probably come in like this road. Or if you miss that and you end up down by Staddle, no biggie. There's another road that comes into Bree from there. You just kind of, you're going to hit like a main road and just keep traveling south. And you'll find the South Bree Stable Master there. So actually, you know what? I could actually just go there. I'm a hunter. And hunters have these amazing abilities for getting around, which is so cool. I don't think I have a stable master set to Combe or anything. I don't. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have gone to Mickle Delving. Hang on, I got a better idea. I'm going to try and follow your path a little bit. So you might see some familiar landmarks in the stream, but I'm going to take a roundabout way to get there. All right, so this is a funny little side trick for anybody who's trying to get to Combe quickly. If you have traveled to Mickle Delving, you can get yourself to the Stable Master. Mickle Delving, Callendum, and Thorns all have swift travel to Combe. Bree does not. It's slow travel from Bree, which is hilarious because it's right there. Everything else is swift. It's very silly. All right, so here we go. So I'm coming into the lovely little hamlet of Combe, and Archette is up there where the brigands had blocked the fence there. But we took care of them. Rawr. All right, so as you're coming out of Combe, yeah, you'll be, let me get rid of some of these other things for the moment. And you know, funny thing is you can actually like climb over those mountains and stuff. But anyway, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep riding through here. Oh, you're probably not riding. You're probably not on a mount. Although, if you use that SAM code that I posted, that will give you the riding skill, which is super handy. Let's see, did you see that? Here, let me put, oh yeah, you were around when I put that code out. So, and that is, if you don't know how to do this, down here at the bottom corner, so like way over there at the bottom corner, where it says Lotro Store, you click on that and that gives you this. It'll pop up in the middle of your screen. You've got like 4 things across the top. Boom, 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 boom. The last one there is redeem code. And you click on that and then you just copy out of the chat and paste it right there. So like, let's see, what's this week's thing? EEBIE. So like this week's free code is a free hero, Elixir of Heroism code. Okay, so I'm going to grab that because I haven't actually done that yet. So I'm just going to copy that. I'm going to paste that in here. And then I hit apply. And here it makes like a little cash register. Ka-ching! And now it says, hey, you have successfully redeemed your coupon for blah, blah, blah. And now it's in my inventory. See right there, it just showed up. Ba-ba! So that's how you could get the writing skill, is with that SAM code. Agartha says, speaking of hunters, someone put out a hunter-specific Midsummer daily speedrun, non-crafting assisted, regular mount, 13 minute, 20 seconds. Quite impressive. Was that not us? Or was that somebody different? Oh yeah, so anyway, so I've just come in this gate here, which is known as the Combe Gate, funny enough. So I'm riding along, and you see there's like, it looks like you're riding through like a pretty busy part of town. And then you get to this nice little ramp that comes down, and this kind of takes you into like Bree proper. So now I'm like on this, there's this kind of like this main road that runs kind of from the top of Bree down to the bottom of Bree. And so that's kind of where I've ended up. There's this boar fountain here, and it says Market Square. So these 3 boars on this fountain. This is kind of a well-known landmark. So people might be like, oh yeah, go by the boar fountain, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because there's a crafting hall right here, which is super handy. People use that all the time. So if I were to follow this main road, and it comes down here, and you'll see that I kind of would like run into something. So I'm going to just kind of curve off a little bit to the left and keep going. And then I'll just kind of follow this edge. So you kind of like winds a little bit that way, then it winds a little bit this way. And we're going to keep following it as the kind of the main part of the road. And we're going to go under this gate. Boom, boom. And we come out to the bottom. And this is South Bree. So we are now at the south part of Bree. And we've got like, there's an auction house in there. And there's all sorts of good stuff happening around here. But the thing we were looking for is this guy right here, this stable master. So that's how I got myself down here to the south part of Bree. Oh, it was a French guy, said Agartha. Oh, very cool. Okay, so we're going to talk to Bert Goldenleaf. And he has, if I scroll down, I'm guessing, I'm looking for Minas Tirith. Where is it? Oh, maybe it's at the top. Oh, it's at the very top. Minas Tirith, Midsummer, Swift Travel. And it'll cost me 90 copper. Probably cost you 1 silver. But there we go. Kaboom! And that will send me off. So that's one way you can get there if you don't have a map and you didn't set a milestone or anything there. Well, now I kind of want to have us go and do a Midsummer speed run. Non-crafting assisted regular mount. No, that's okay. It's actually the Ale Association and In League ones that I'm really happy that we did those. That was fun. Yay! Spundat says, thank you, that was extremely helpful. That's awesome. Well, I'd hate for you miss out on at least the last day of the fun you could have over here. So, yes, come join the fun. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Festival Buddy back again. And like I said, I've already gone through and done stuff. So I'm going to kind of go a little bit from memory because I didn't reset the quick guide because it's already checked off the things that I did the last time I was here. So I want to go to the next tier up, which is the Soldiers tier. And I'm going to continue my route through here. I love the music in Midsummer Venus Tirith. All right, we're going to pick up Artistic Direction here from Borlock of Rimmon. And so we'll accept that. And so now it has added those things to my to-do list, which is great. Let's see. I need to pick the correct barrel of wine in the Splintered Shield. So let's head down to the Splintered Shield, which I know is this direction. Oh, I should say, if you are trying to figure out, excuse me, what to do with this festival, there is a handful of quick guides out there that are really handy. And so let me grab mine, and then I'll grab Fibro Jedi's. So give me just a quick moment here. Okay, so if you're like a little lost on how to get around the Midsummer Festival, there's my guide, which kind of assumes that you might know a little bit of what's going on here. So if you need even a primer before that, let me get you to Fibro Jedi and Midsummer, because he goes over in a little bit more detail than I am doing here. But there you go. So there's a couple of really nice introductions. So if you start with if you look at Fibro Jedi's, it'll tell you a little bit more detail about these various quests. And then if you go to my quick guide, it's basically like, okay, go south, or, you know, south that way, clockwise, and go to the Splintered Shield, you know, do this quest, that quest, that quest. But I don't really get into the details of what those quests are, or, you know, any of the other details like that. It kind of assumes that you might figure this out or have done this like at least one time previously. Fibro Jedi's gives you more like coordinates and gives a little bit more in-depth detail. So, but I know there's a quest I want to take, and he's up here on the second floor, on the top. And it's this guy right here, and he's had a bit too much to drink, and he wants me to ask the musicians to play quieter. So I'm tossing coins at them, and they're like, "Fine, I'll go." So one of the, at least one of the musicians will say something about they were just about to sing the ballad of the honeybee and the rotted something. Let's see if this guy says it. Nope, he doesn't say it. Oh, Spadot says, I bookmarked both to read. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Yeah, and even if you don't get to use them too much this year, the festival will be the same pretty much next year. So at least you've got that for next year. You are set to go. All right, so I've already picked up that barrel because it's not sparkly. But I do need to get this glass of wine. So that would be to the last drop. And I'm going to take off floating names for a minute, which is N, by the way. The Ballad of the Rotted Fruit and the Honeybee, which I absolutely need to get this somehow, like, to be able to perform this. And I put something out on the forums about it because I think it'd be so cool. And and so somebody mentioned that they do have it in progress. And so we are like gonna try and I'm gonna try and snag it from them at some point and give them credit, of course. But I just love they basically said they took some of the tunes that some of the minstrels play as you're wandering by in the game and created something out of it. I'm like, that is awesome, because if somebody else hadn't done it, I was gonna do it. Now, of course, we can always have multiple versions because, you know, that's kind of how songs work. But I thought it would be fun to have something that's similar to what other people are already doing if somebody else already had something going on. Too loud, you say? Okay, so nobody was working on the ballad today. All right, so we're going to turn this in.
Greetings, friend.
Let me put that back up to the top. Okay, boom. And then, let's see, I've already picked up the barrel at the other end because I've got 3 out of the 4 barrels. So, let's see, what do I want to do next? Next, I really want to go to the craftsman's tier. I'm out of order because, like I said, I've already done half the stuff because, you know, what ends up happening sometimes is I'll do like half of the quests one day and then I'll kind of finish up the other half the next day. But that leaves me kind of in the middle of like popping back to do the ones that reset every day. And then I've got the ones that I'm partway through still sitting in my inventory, basically. All right, so I'm working my way back. I'm just going to go back to the stable master because I think that makes the most sense. What does it want me to do there? Yeah. What ails you? Yeah, I already have that one, so not worried about that. Okay. Because I want to go to the craftsman's tier. Well, I really want to be at the other end of this tier that I'm at right now, and I could ride there, but I'm just going to make it go faster. So I'm going to go to the craftsman's tier and then ride down instead of up to where the stable master is. Because really where I want to be is the same tier that I was just on, but further around. And the way Minas Tirith works, and we've talked about this before, but is it's very defensible. So let me get down here to the bottom. And so basically it's these, let me get rid of the pictures. Let's see, remove all, we'll just do that for the moment. Okay, so like on the map. So you can see how it is circles going up. So you've got a circle and a circle and a circle. And it's like, you know, onions got layers, right? And so you've got this first circle, it's huge, goes all the way around, and the next one is a little bit smaller, but it's pretty big, goes all the way around, and then the next one is a little bit smaller, and then they slowly get smaller and smaller as you work your way up, and then eventually at the top you have the citadel at the very top with this long prow that comes off and that you can jump off of for a deed, although I'm not sure if Midsummer counts, if you jump off it in Midsummer. Anyway, sidetrack there. The way to get up from one tier to the next is you would go all the way on the first tier down to here and ride up this ramp, and that takes you to a stable master there. Now you want to get to the next one, you ride all the way around to where I am, and there's a ramp and you can ride up that, and there's a stable master there. And then you want to get to the next one, you ride all the way to, let's see, go up and you ride over to here, and there's a ramp to take you up to here, and you go over here, and so it's like you have to basically go all around and then back up to the next one and back up to the next one, and there's no other way to get up to the next tier except for those ramps that are at opposite ends every other place row. And the idea is that if you are a incoming horde, they don't want you to be able to just go like, oh, here's one, here's one, here's one, and make your way to the top. Like, that would not be very defensible. So I do appreciate that the way they've done this in the game is to have them at opposite ends like that, as I think it is in the books too. So it is maybe a little annoying for a player, but from a in-game perspective, it absolutely makes sense, and I appreciate that they have that. So I enjoy that. All right, so let's go talk to this worried woman. So she has a ring that one of these little obnoxious, unhelpful hounds has picked up and wandered off with. Now, the unhelpful hounds, the one that has the ring, will come into this area back here as if it is taunting her, like, ha ha ha, I have your ring. Another thing we've noticed, and before figured this one out, is that so it won't be this one, you see, because before figured out, the one that has the ring goes in a clockwise formation in general. He like does a little back and forth, but in general, he's making his way clockwise. So we'll just watch this one. You see the one I've got on the arrow there? So you notice that he's going still that way, and he's making his way clockwise around this center area where the people are sitting and eating. I wonder if I can get any higher. I cannot. But here, we'll zoom out. We'll go up to where he's at. So you can see he's still making his way over. He's kind of walking back and forth, but he's going to turn eventually and make his way around. See, there he goes. And comes around this way. And then eventually, you know, I mean, you got to sniff everything, I guess, when you're a dog, right? And eventually makes his way back over here and comes around this pillar. So you can chase the dogs down if you want to. But you can just chill out here, wait for the dog to come by, click on them, take the ring off of them. If you wait for the clockwise walking dog. So there's a little hint on how to find the right dog, and you don't have to go crazy chasing everybody around. So that's nice. All right, so let's see. Now we are gonna go back up. Now we picked up the artist guy, Borlock of Rimmen. We picked up his quest. So we are looking to get still some pottery, some clay from the potter, and some charcoal from the baker. So, oh, and we need wedding supplies. So let's grab those. Wedding supplies, we have that one. So let's grab some stuff from the potter. We need clay. Clay from the potter. Awesome, grabbing that. Boop, boop, boop. Going back in here, because there are some wedding supplies inside. They're inside and to the left. So we're going to come inside and go to the left. Doo-doo-doo. And now I'm at 2 out of 5 of those. We'll keep going. If there's other people around, you'll often find that you're competing to pick up these wedding supplies. But thankfully, I am the only one here right now, and that makes that a lot easier. All right. If I hadn't already, I could pick up the quest from the postmaster right there, but I already have it. So we're going to keep on rolling. So what plugin are you working on today during your stream? All right. So right after my stream, because my stream, I go for about 2 hours, and then before does a stream where he is working on plugins and doing, you know, plugin work on the screen during his stream. And I'm laughing because he's like trying to type and stuff, and the cat's just watching, waiting for him to put his hand up and scratch her. She makes her needs met, her needs known. She's very cute. Anyway, so yes, he's going to be working on Hitbold stuff. So there's a plugin for rebuilding Hitbold, but I'm guessing you're going to be making some tweaks to that. He says, mm-hmm. Because the Festival Buddy 2 plugin is pretty well done for now. It's doing all the things it needs to do. And then, so the next festival is Farmers Fair. Is that right? I probably should look at the schedule. Let me pull up the schedule.
I think it's a good idea to reset quest if it's past the 3 a.m.
Yeah. So before is having a thought. about watching how I'm using his plugin, and wondering about quests that reset after 3 a.m., like when the server does the reset, like all these quests that I'm picking up. Would there be a way to have the Festival Buddy 2 figure that out, add that back in, for example? Okay, so let's see. The next festival we have, let's see, Midsummer, and then Filled with Fae, Habnanigans, Curator. Did I miss it? Let me see. Oh, Farmer's Fair. There it is on 8/17. Here, I'll put that in the chat. And that information comes from, well, multiple sources. Cordovan, who is the SSG community manager, excuse me, is keeping that information in like at least 2 different places. So here at lotro.com, the link that I just put in the chat there. And then also on the forums, there's a forum thread, and you can then reply to it with thoughts or opinions or anything of that sort. So you can always look up what's happening and when on that link. And he generally puts this out like at the beginning of the year or at the end of the previous year, so you can kind of plan ahead a little bit. Like, for example, we're playing on Treebeard, and Treebeard is a slow progression server, so we don't get everything all at once. Over time, we're slowly getting the content that's been released in slow dribbles. So, for example, we just got, so last time we had Rise of Isengard, which included like Isengard and the Great River area, and now we just got Western Rohan? Eastern Rohan, right. Eastern Rohan. And so that's where we're traveling around for like the next 6 months or so. And Cord was nice enough to put the dates of the next increase in that list of the schedule now, which is great. There was an update that happened on Treebeard where, so Treebeard opened on June 30th of 2020. 2021. And then 6 months later, on like January 5th, we got the next one. And then 6 months later, like end of June or beginning of July, we got the next one. So we're all like, okay, 6 months. Because they had said it'd be every 5 to 6 months, but it had been 6 months for the first couple. So we're all like, okay, 6 months, so we're expecting January. Well, it came out beginning of December, and we were all like, not ready. So very glad that we now have the dates available to us in that event schedule, so we can kind of plan ahead, so that way like about a month before we are due to go up to the next one, we can be like, okay, what do we need to have done? What do we want to have done at this point? Because there's some things you can only do if you're at cap level on a server, like the delvings. And so right now we just went up from level 75 to level 85. And so any of us who were doing delvings, we need to, catch that back up again, because we're not at max level now. I'm up to 77, from 75 to 77, but 85 is the cap now. So I got a little ways to go. That's okay. It's no big deal. All right. I'm going to go over to the players tier, and I'm going to do the same thing where as soon as I show up, I'm going to hop off my Stable Master mount and get back on my own mount and ride down the hill on my invisible mount. It's like Wonder Woman. It's pretty awesome. And we're going to make our way over here to the pastry chef. Da da da. And grab the charcoal for the artist, and then she has a quest of her own that she would like us to do, where we are to ride around and give some pastries to the hungry guards that have been working tirelessly for this festival. It's very nice of them to keep working so hard. All right, and we'll go up and do the next one. Oh, I should have popped to, next time I am at a Stable Master, I will pop up to the top and show you some of the goodies you can get at this festival. So that way you kind of know why you're getting tokens. Why do I want to do this? There's some really great stuff. This festival started in 2020, and so they've had a few years of adding things, each year to the collection. But the first year they came out with some really great stuff, and there's like a handful of things that my characters have a tendency to wear, and one of those items came out of this festival. So I will definitely show you that in a few minutes. And I'm delivering pastries and picking up wedding supplies. I'm busy. We've got a busy day here. I'm a busy hobbit. What can I say? All right, let's get a move on. All right, get the guard. Om nom nom. Let's see. Do we have flowers? I think we have flowers to put on the stage here. So we're gonna. Oh yeah, there it is. Go into the Mary Swan. Place 2 floral arrangements on stage. Now, normally there would also be the next line would say something about grabbing a barrel from in here, but I got it already yesterday. It's really nice that hobbits have such huge pockets where I can carry 3 barrels of alcohol around with me without breaking it or spilling it. Maybe it's out there on the mount that I'm riding. Maybe that's what it is. My poor little goat there is just loaded up with stuff. We're going to take a look. Let's see how my goat's doing. Totes my goat. Oh, what did I do with my... Oh, there it is. I see the fly. Let's see if I can get it. Nope. I did this... It's flying sideways now. So, improvement. All right, see, my goat's just got like all sorts of stuff. I'm sure that it's carrying in its side sacks that we can't see. So we've got 3 barrels of wine. We've got an empty platter to take back to the pastry chef. We've got like all sorts of things all in our bags here. It's kind of crazy. Oh, right, we've got the charcoal and the clay and what was the other thing we collected for the artist guy? Yeah, so we've got a bunch of stuff for him. Flowers, I think, maybe. It's pretty funny. So we have all sorts of stuff for him. Hello, Krypton. Welcome to the chat. Well, while I'm here, I turned in the thing today. Okay, so on this tier, normally you're giving out nibbles to a bunch of people, but I did that and then I didn't turn it in, so I turned it in today and got credit for it. So that's neato. So we're gonna go up to the top and we're gonna look at some of the stuff that they have up there, so you know what it is you're aiming for, perhaps. So for this festival, there's basically one barterer that you need to worry about. Some festivals, there's multiple places where you can turn in your tokens to get various things. But this festival, it's all currently still one person. So that makes it pretty efficient. It just means that you also have like 9 pages of stuff to look at. So there's that. Okay, so that's the person we got some quests from. This is the lady over here who wants to take my tokens. So let's talk to her. So they did a really cool thing a handful of festivals ago where when you talk to the festival barterer, at the top it's showing you everything. So that's why we have 9 pages here. But I can select new items and it's just going to show me the things that are new this year. This is really super handy for those of us who have like done the festival possibly multiple years already. And so we're just like, we've already bought all the things we wanted from the previous festivals and we just want to see what's new, or especially when we're getting started, like, okay, what do I want to get? What do I want to make sure I get this year and then move on, kind of thing. So there's some cool stuff there. Now I tend to go by the categories. So the Midsummer Steeds, to me, that's always important. I like to get all the steeds. So you'll see the way they're listed out is you'll have the current year steed is available for festival tokens. And then you can get accessories that are for the war steed version of that steed. So if you're not anywhere close to Rohan, you don't need to worry about war steeds. So you don't need to worry about grabbing those accessories if you don't want to. But you definitely, have those available if you want to take a look at them. The problem is you can't, if you don't have a war steed, you can't look at what the cosmetics look like on a war steed. So, little catch-22 there. But anyway, you could still buy them and have them ahead of time. They get consumed basically, so they don't take space in your inventory, which is nice. Okay, and then you'll see that you can also buy the current steed for mithril coins if you want to. I don't know why you would want to do that, why you would not just use festival tokens, because festival tokens are way easier to come by than mithril coins. But I don't know, maybe you just like spending mithril coins, like you're a, rich hobbit or something. I don't know. Anyway, so then the next thing you'll see is there'll be last year's steed. So the steed of the entwining blossoms, or actually pull up the first one too. Steedly-doo. So this year's steed is the summer concert steed. And it looks like this. So it's got like musical instruments on the back of it. So there's drum, there's a lute, there's another lute. Looks like we've got a fiddle, maybe some music sticking out the back. So that's this year's steed. Oh, excuse me. Now last year's, it's cool, and I went ahead and got it. But I probably won't use it as much as other things. The Entwining Blossoms one, I really like. It has this kind of blue and white, but it kind of like a little bit of a fade going on with it. And then it's got like some little blossoms braided into the hair on the mane. That one's really pretty. All right, so then it does the same thing where it gives you like the War Steed cosmetics. Actually, it gives you a box where you can choose War Steed cosmetics. And then you can also buy them for the current for festival tokens. Okay, and then there should be another steed. Let's see. Summer concert steed. Entwining blossoms. Interesting. I thought there was another one. Let's take a look. We've got... let's look at all. There's a summer concert. That is the way they were kind of going towards, was there would be two. There'd be this year's steed and last year's steed that you would have access to for festival tokens. And then the third year, 3 years ago, whatever, would be available for mithril coins. Maybe we've only had two? That's possible. That's possible. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on for a moment. Emotes are fun. And there's one where you can toss a coin. So let me show you what that looks like over here in the emotes. So coin toss looks like this. And then the other one is wine tasting. And it looks like this. Oops, it looks like this. So you're like holding the glass of wine and you kind of shake it around, take a look at it, smell it, and then you take a drink. Hey, Garther says, how many instruments are strapped to that horse's butt? 6 or 7? We could actually take a look here. Hang on a second. Let me hop off of the steed. I'll jump on that one. All right, so here's the summer concert steed, if you want to know. Here, let's get rid of all this other HUD. So let's say we've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, we've got a horn here. I'm going to call that a musical instrument. So that's 5. Oh, we've got a cowbell. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on this side alone. All right. And then we've definitely got a fiddle with, I think that's the bow. Okay. And then we've got, oh, there's a bagpipe, of course. And we've got a flute. Where's our pibgorn? I don't see the pibgorn. It's probably hiding here somewhere. Oops, not you. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 6, 7, 8 for sure. I'll bet the pipcorn is tucked in there somewhere. So there you go. At least 8. At least 8 instruments on there on that horse. So that's pretty funny. Soapy Banana, hello. Yes, Sneaky Pipcorns is... Well, actually, that's a good question. I'm curious, like, how many different instrument proficiencies are there? Is that... No, it's in passive, isn't it? Passive skills... Instrument proficiencies. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Oh, 13. Because specialized equipment isn't really an instrument. So 13 different instruments, but more cowbell and cowbell are going to look very, very similar. But yeah, so there's potentially 13 instruments that could be on the horse. Oh yeah, I didn't even see a harp. We're missing a harp. And I didn't see a bassoon or a theorbo. So, you know, they got room to add stuff. Okay. So let's see. What else have we got here? So those are things you might want to save up for. There's also cosmetic pets, which are fun. So you can get like, this year, the new one is a concert firefly, which is this cute little green firefly that shows up. Where is it? There it is. See, it's right here flying. We'll put it kind of over her face again. And it makes this little trill from time to time, little musical trill. So that's fun. You can have a kite, a chipmunk, a silver chipmunk, and then there's also a blue firefly, purple firefly, red firefly, and then another kite. So those are different things you can barter for as well. But let's go to the wedding garb, because putting together cool outfits is one of the fun things you can do in Lotro. And so you've got a lot of different options. Hi, I have a kitty cat. All right, I'm going to scoot this over because she is sitting right, let's see, this is the outline of my cat right now. She is bigger than a hobbit. Okay, so we're going to skip the summer concert stuff because that's the current year. Let's go back to the oldest stuff. So Arwen's wedding dress looks like this. And one of the big things in this game is adding dyes. So it by default comes in this kind of purplish state. Doesn't come with the pretzel, that's separate. But you can change the color, you can add dyes to things. So for example, that's what it looks like in red, or I can do it in a navy, or some of my favorites are like in rose. Rose is usually nice, or turquoise. Crimson might be nice. That's a little dark. Lavender. Lavender's good. I think I like this one in Shire Peach. Shire Peach is nice. Look at that, because a whole bunch of different colors going on. So, so this is an outfit that I'm definitely a fan of. Let me go back to that. Is the... Sorry, that's Arwen's dress. Arwen's dress is good. The one that... wait a minute. Which is my favorite one, though? No, it's the Entwining Blossoms. We'll come back to that one. So Arwen's dress is nice. Then there's also Galadriel's dress, which is very silver and gold. Very cool. There's the bride's dress, which is very cute, and it cracks me up how the arms on a hobbit look just so big and floofy. Again, this one dyes up really nice. You've got a lot of options there, but it's really the center part that dyes up, so you know you want to find something that's very complimentary of the blue. There's the groom's tunic, which is pretty cool, and it's got the White Tree of Gondor on there, and you can change the sleeves and the front part of it. So some really fun colors you can do with that. Oh yeah, Egg Arthur does point out if folks are still crawling around on their little extra steed, which you can get in the early areas, there's a quest you can do now to give you a steed and the riding skill, but that horse, excuse me, is only at 32% speed. So the standard speed for a lot of the steeds is 62%. And the steeds here in the wedding festival are that are that 62%. So that's another way to get a good one. Let's see, the crown of summer flowers, I really like, and also it can be dyed differently. So you can dye up. So some of the flowers stay the same, but some of them change, and so you're able to kind of adapt it a little bit to match, whatever outfit you're working on, which is pretty neat. All right, let me go back a page though, because let's keep going. So Circlet of Lorien is cool, but it's super big. It's got a lot going on there. The Groom's Myrtle Circlet is nice. I like the leaves that it's got going on there. The Groom's Bracers go well with the outfit. Groom's Boots, probably, oh yeah, they're little black boots. They're cute. Okay, so now we're getting back into the other stuff. So we've got the Bridal Veil, which just sit there and sways in the wind, and it dyes up all sorts of colors. So you can dye that thing like crazy to match whatever it is you're wearing. But the Dress of the Entwining Blossoms is probably one of my favorite dresses in the whole game. This is one that I will dye up all sorts of colors. And it also has that fade going on. So you can see how... Here, let me reset that so I don't have anything on my back. Dress of Entwining Blossoms. There we go. So it comes in naturally in this blue, which you can see already. It has like a number of different blues going on. Excuse me. I do like to do a whole bunch of them. The purple is nice. I like the greens that it comes in. Let's see. Is this one I did? No, I did Shire Peach on it. Oh, there it is in lavender, which is nice. So there's Rohan Green. Yeah, so this is one of my favorites for running around in different ways. Let's see, what does it look like in rose? There we go. So that's the Dress of the Entwining Blossoms. There's the Mantle of Entwining Blossoms with little vines up on her shoulders. We've got the Circlet of Entwining Blossoms if you really want to go crazy with this this gold thing going on. Let's see. Oh, and then there's the tunic version. So if you prefer to run around in pants and a tunic, the tunic is also quite nice. I really do like the tunic also. And then if you are a cloak person, you can get a cloak. It's kind of like a half cloak. And so what did I do? I did that in rose. So like if I were to, well, let's do that. Sea blue, there we go. We can contrast it. Hey, there's a Sandy. Hi, Sandy. I wondered if you would be away for the entire stream or if you were going to pop in. Okay, so then this year, the new cosmetic items are, no worries. Sandy says, forgot it was Tuesday. No worries. You have had a busy week. So, you got stuff. Oh, that's the hooded cloak. But anyway, so this one, actually, let me reset this because I want to show you what it looks like without anything. So it's a tunic. There isn't a dress version, just the tunic version. And honestly, I don't wear tunics with this character as often as I wear the dresses. So I'm not as super excited about the tunic as I am like other things, but I do really like how it has, so this is supposed to be, this is all like a concert musician style or series that they've done. So I think it's supposed to be the lines that the notes are on is what the lines are across the front. And oh, hey, Lord Zakbora says hi. Hello, how are you? And then it's got like some flowers and stuff. So I do think the flowers in the front are cute. And then it's got like this big old flower right there on the butt with some other flowers that are coming in from the side, and then more flowers on the back. So I really do like that sort of stuff. Yeah, you can see how it's the score, the lines, with the, and the, I've got my bow in the way, but yeah, so it's very like musical notes oriented, this styling of it, which I think is interesting. I'm kind of hoping that next year maybe they'll make a dress version also, because maybe they could get some of that styling still, but I could get more of the floof, because the floof just looks good on my characters, I think. And then they also have this cute little cap, the summer concert cap with its little floppy bits on top. There's summer concert boots and the cloak, which also has, it's really, I do like the multi-tiered look of the cloak with the flowers involved. So that's cute. Stave. Thank you, Spundot. The stave. The musical lines are the stave. Or stave. No, I'm kidding. Or the staff. So yeah, so you've got that going on the look of it, which is cool. So this year's, it's all very summer concert themed. The steed, our extra little firefly, the outfits, all of that stuff. Okay, so what else we got here? So we've looked at the wedding garb, we looked at the pets, we looked at the steeds. Oh, instruments. If you want to play an instrument in the game, you can get instruments here. You can also buy them like super cheap from a bard anywhere in the game. So like there's Gammer Boggs in the Shire, in Meckle Delving. There's a bard in the Prancing Pony. So there's bards all over the place where you can buy the musical instruments. These are like a white version. I wonder if it'll let me show you. So they look fancy. So there's the harp, there's the drum, the oboe, the bagpipe. So they're kind of a white look. Goodness, that pibgorn is gigantic. There's the it says Summer Celebration Mountain Harp, so it's like the Misty Mountain Harp. Fiddle, bassoon. I guess that's all of them. So you can get these pretty versions of these musical instruments, which is cool. And they are supposed to sound like the bass versions of those instruments. I don't know. I feel like they sound slightly different. Some of them sound slightly different, and I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. Bill Slowski asks, can you still play all the different instruments in game? I mean, yes. All the instruments that are available, you can learn them all. Any character can. Minstrels get access to those either right away or over time they learn new ones. Then they can teach others how to play the things that they know how to play. And so that's how I know as many as I know with my passive here, with my instrument proficiencies. Some of these you come with as a character, but the rest of these I've had minstrels teach me. So that's how I know as many as I do. Okay, so you can buy instruments. You can buy fireworks, and these are fun. Oh, it looks like I haven't done this. When you buy the fireworks, here, I'll just go ahead and buy up. We'll do the Eleanor ones. I like those. So let me get a bunch of them. Where are they? There they are. All right, so let me start with 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll light one of these over here. So I'm lighting this firework. And, oh, did I already do it? There should be a deed associated with that. It didn't pop up. Oh, I've already got the deed. I've already finished the deed. Why does it let me? Oh, I guess I can just buy them anyway.
You can.
Oh, that's a shame. Sometimes it'll show you that you've already completed that. That's why I thought I couldn't, or hadn't done it, because they're all green, they're all white. Once you do like 25 of that or something like that, then you get a permanent skill, which I have over right here. I could have seen that if I was paying attention. Oh well, but that's a cool way to get those stuff. So, okay, so the emotes we talked about already. Housing items. This is another one of the cool things they have. So the housing items, I can't show you here. However, if you go to this website, Deco de Miu, so DECO DU, and then Miu, MILIEU, and actually, you want to pop that link in there, or I can grab it. Another excuse to get a drink. Anyway, this website has all of the housing items in Lotro listed on their website, and they have pictures of everything. Thank you, dear. So yeah, I have pictures of all of them from different angles, and you can kind of get an idea of what the different housing items look like. So the Midsummer Stable, I love it. I get it on every server because it's a nice big thing. It's very ornate. It's like flowers all over the place. It's great. The ornate planter and the L-shaped planter, the box planter, the L-shaped, all of those five together. Those are fun to arrange into like a square and maybe like or a rectangle, and to put others in the middle, and you can walk as if you're walking around like a a European garden or something. So I do that with those. And that's fun. And then there's a whole bunch of things that you can get to put on tables. So I did that. We have a mead house over on Evernight, and I got the table that has all the food on it in the middle. And then I got a whole bunch of these different platters, and they're placed out on the tables in and amongst the other things. So that one's kind of fun. There's some really pretty flower arrangements. But the next things I like are the lanterns. They have the azure hanging lantern, and I think there's one other. So those are nice. Let me see them there. Yeah, here's the flared hanging lantern and the ornate hanging lantern. Well, now I can't remember which one I like the best. I'd have to go to my house and look. Anyway, they're fun to take a look at. Where? Oh, somebody was just emoting at me. Well, I missed it. Well, hello to Gold Song. Sorry I missed you out there. The pastry tower is really cool, and it's huge, especially compared to Hobbit. And it is a fantastic item to have in your house. Put it on a table. It looked great. A whole bunch of platters. Some really fun stuff you can do there. The standing lantern with stained glass is really nice. It's fantastic. You get two of them, and you can flank like a doorway or something. That's really neat. The Midsummer Garden Arch is also really nice. I can show you that. It's at our kin house, I think. The garden sculpture is ridiculously huge. And so I don't have that except in one place. And then you have the floating lanterns. You have a closed version, you have a half open version, and then you have a fully open version. And those are really pretty. So for example, let me show you. I thought they had the lanterns right here. Well, these hanging here, I think that's the flared one, and that might be the other one. But then there were missing ones. So, those are, you can get those from the festival barter. And are there? I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out for things, and as we pass by them, I'll point them out to you. All right, so let's go back out and keep finding some of our things that we're trying to do here. So we want to turn in artistic direction. Oh, Lord Zachbor says D&Co, which is the name of a house decorating show in France, similar to like Extreme Makeover Home Edition in the US. And de Milieu means in the middle, as in like Middle Earth. So that's how they got their name, D&Co de Milieu, D&Co of Middle Earth. So very nice. I like it. So we could go to the Blue Theater. We could go take care of ill people. Sure, we'll go do some of that. I guess, well, here, I'm going to go ahead and turn in these two things. Because why not?
What can I do for you?
And do I have... Oh, I could turn in this guy. Oh, no, we did that yesterday. We did it yesterday. I turned it in today. And then the florist doesn't want to talk to us yet. Okay. So let's head down a level and pop into some of these places while we keep an eye out for decorating items to show off. So I love the fact that they have things peppered throughout Minas Tirith that you can then also acquire from the festival barter up on top. So that's pretty neat. Okay, so this is the stables right here. And you can see how they've put tables and other things in here. But if the tables weren't there, imagine that. So that's basically what the stables looks like. And you can put that in your yard. And I do. Oh, and here, these are the standing lanterns that I was talking about. So you can see how they have them like just dotted every so often. I like putting them like in front of doorways and stuff. So I would have like one here and one here, or on the inside the other way around. I think that's fun. Let's see if they have them there. Oh, no, they don't. Okay. So I appreciate, though, that we can, yeah, pick up some of these things and have them for our own homes. And they had a thread going on the previous forums, because now we have new forums. But on the previous forums, they had a thread going of basically like housing requests. So like if you saw something in the game, like, you know, you're like, wow, this banner of Gondor is really neat, and I wish that was a housing item. You know, you could post about that in the forum, and they were kind of keeping an eye on that, you know, as see if, because it would be really cool. They like the idea of being able to reuse some of the stuff that they already have and provide it to people as housing items, but they kind of want to make sure it's stuff that people are going to want. So if you see something that you're like, wow, this would be really amazing, and I think a lot of people would buy it, you know, maybe point that out in the forums. Because I think they started a new thread of it. That fly is persistent. I'm surprised Kato isn't going for it. She did that yesterday. Recently. There was a fly, and she was like trying to get it, and she kept missing it, and she seemed very annoyed by this. It was funny. Yeah, I'm going to do that during your stream. Yeah. So Lord Zakbor says, I have the Black Tower in my yard. Is that from... What's the Black Tower from? Mordor? From Mordor content of some sort? You can't remember. Does this Black Tower just showed up one day? I was like, yeah, cool. I like the things that you can interact with. So like, I like the... what's that one? There's one where it's like a big tower of wood and you can burn it. I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like, yeah, well, but it's like a, I'm not sure if I would call it a beacon, but it's like, you know, it's like it turned, it's a, oh, okay, it's considered a beacon, I'm hearing. Okay, that's cool. Let's see. I still need to find noisy revelers to send off because people are trying to get well here, people. You're not supposed to be coming and partying in the middle of a hospital. Come on. What are you thinking? Okay, so we've done that one. So let's go like 2 doors down. Oops, can't get out the door. Let me out! I don't want to be in the hospital anymore. Lord Zakbar says, I like the dwarf in a barrel. Yeah, there's one that you can get, which is like a barrel. It just looks like a barrel just sitting there, and you click on it, and there's a dwarf in there, and he pops his head up. That was cute. I do like, there's a lot of kegs. There's a handful of different kegs in the game that you can get through various places, and that one's fun because each one can like send you to a different place. It's like a random out of like, you know, 6 or 7 different places it'll send you, and so you just randomly wake up somewhere, and that's kind of funny. We have the outhouse at our kin house, and so you go click on it, and your character knocks on the door, and then something comes out, and it can be like an animal of some different, you know, various animals that you can get in the game, or it could be, hang on, let me talk to this healer. Yeah, it could be a person of various sorts. Like, yeah, it's again another list of random things that it could be. So it's kind of cute. So the map that I've got going on over here, it's the map of where things are in this space, all the different healers. There's 6 different healers that I'm trying to track down and give them a thank you letter, which when you do this quest, you should read the thank you letter, what they have to say, because it's very sweet. It's very kind that they're like, oh, that's really nice. you know, or things like, oh, I would do this no matter the thanks, but I do appreciate it. You know, stuff like that. So yeah, it's nice to be having some positive helping hands there and stuff. So all right, so now we gotta work our way back out. Back to the center garden, and oh yeah, out straight across. There we go. Oh, they also have. Or is that mine? Sometimes I've noticed that a cosmetic pet doesn't necessarily interact well on the inside of a building. And so sometimes it'll just wait for you by the door. So that could have been my firefly. All right, let's see. What do we need to turn into Borlock? We need to, oh, I want to go, let's go to the Blue Theater. Apparently, so I want to be down there. And apparently I can jump off of here. And if I hit stuff just right, I don't take falling damage and stuff. So that's kind of neat. Yeah. Just a little bit, but that's not bad. Made it down all right. Otherwise, you can go down the ramp. The maypole is really cool too. So it's a tall maypole in your yard, and when you click on it, it starts it up. And so anybody who then clicks on it gets a ribbon in their hands, and you can run around and, you know, go in circles or jump or whatever you want to do. And it pretends as though you're actually going around and weaving the ribbons. And so the maypole itself slowly gets covered by more and more ribbons. And then finally it gets to a point where it's like, you know, we're done, congratulations, you know, kind of thing. And like confetti comes out. It's really cute. And then you just wait a moment and you can do it again. So that's neat. Okay, so this guy, you have to go and collect these wayward verses that are flying about. Lord Zach says, what would be nice is if Lotro implemented pets interacting with each other. Oh, yeah. In Final Fantasy 14. Well, when we get to Lotro 14. Anyway, it says in Final Fantasy 14, there's pets that will dance together or chase each other. Oh, that's cute. I like that. So yeah, so when we get to Lotro 14, maybe that'll be a part of it. How many of these things have I caught? I've caught 3 out of 6. There's usually one here by the fountain, but I just saw a person run by. So I have a feeling like they were also doing this quest. So as you saw, there was one kind of in this area. And then there was one here. I'm going to turn off my firefly. It's distracting. There was one in this area. And then there's one by Caladan himself. So up in this alcove that we started at. And then there's one other one nearby. I'll show you. So you come in here and there's floral arrangements that you need to do. But then there's also one of these wayward verses is flying around these seats by the pews there. So a lot of times I'll go for the verse and then come back for the flowers. There used to be a person who was very involved with Lotro, was a streamer and played and stuff like that. And their name was Wayward Plain. And I always wondered if this was kind of like a nod to them. They unfortunately have passed away since this came out, so perhaps it is now an homage. All right, so we got our verses. We finished that up. And let's see. Before it says, I have a similar thought about Gord, maybe being Cordovan in the Blue Theater. I wondered that about, there's a quest where you get you have to, there's like hand fasting going on. And so they need cords for that. And they're called the Cords of Love. And so I wondered if that was somebody like kind of poking and giving him a hard time, giving Cordovan a hard time with that one. All right, so we have 4 out of 4 barrels of ale. Woot woot. So now, let's see. I kind of want to go down to the Blue Theater, though. And I think we're 1 level high. Oops, let's get outside. We can check on that. I think we're up a level too high for that. Because this is the Thirsty Seer. Yep, I need to be down 1 layer. I don't think I can just jump off of here. Hey, shall we find out? Aw. So far, the answer is no. They're very particular about this in Minas Tirith, you know? Alright, so let's go find... let's see, where's the ramp down from here? There's the ramp up. Oh, you know what? I think the ramp down is kind of a ways. It's way over there. So, you know what we're going to do? We are going to just port down to the bottom. And use the stable masters to get us around. Da 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 da! Now, I've actually done 10 things. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that in here. And she's like, join us tomorrow. And then every 3 days, you finish a wrapper, an over wrapper. And that one gives you, like, in this case, legendary item experience. I'm going to get some Figments of Splendor, a scrap of an Essence Reclamation Scroll, a universal optional crafting ingredient, which are very handy, and 1,000 Virtue experience, which is nice. I'm not actually maxed on my virtues at the moment. I was. When we got to level 75, we kept doing, we kept doing everything, all the deeds and everything. And so a lot of them, the final versions of whatever give you virtue experience. And so we did manage to max out our virtue experience. Lord Zagbora, since we added the invisible barriers, death went down 98%. What's the 2%? Now I'm kind of curious. Okay, so I want to get to the players tier, and I want to get to here. I'm just going to take the stable master to the players tier. I think that's going to get me close enough. So we'll do that. We don't talk about the other 2% that, yeah. Well, it was the year of the bad chicken. All right, we're going to run ourselves down to the end of this tier. So what we would have done is if we were up here giving those tasty morsels to the various, what are they, people, hoity-toity people. There's like one there and one here. Then by the time we got to this guy, we would have been like, oh, hey, look, there's the Blue Theater. Let's pop in there. But because we already gave the guy stuff, we already did that, so we didn't do that. 2% of the drunkards falling off the pier. It could be. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick this one up. And this is find the cloudy heads and send them backstage. So here's a map on the side of their rough locations. Now, there's 6 of them. And so, like, Froki is at this location. But I might keep running across Froki over and over again. So I'm going to go ahead and check him off of my list. And then I know, aha, I've already found him. So we'll go ahead and do Rabo here as well. Because, aha, we have found him. And since I'm right here, I'm going to go ahead and do these flowers. So if you are going to check the people off that you found, you do have to check it off manually. It doesn't automatically check it off for you, because other people might be also in here doing the same thing, and so the person might be saying their remote. Here's Holler. So like for example, Holler is going to say, "I'm wanted backstage." Very well. But somebody else may have clicked on him and he was saying that same thing to them. And if it checked it off on yours, then you'd be sad because you'd think you'd done it and you hadn't. All right, so we need to go find Paula. We haven't seen her up on top, which means she's probably right here. Because she's either on that balcony or up on top. Yeah, and so, okay, so we found Paula. So we just have Danar and Gord to find. And Danar is already backstage. So we just need to get ourselves there and find her. Sometimes she's sitting at this table here. Sometimes she's down here in this room. There she is. And then sometimes she's at in the other hallway. But I seem to find her here or at the table more often than I see her in the other place. I love hers. You're telling them to go backstage, and then she's like, "It seems that you may be the one who is lost, friend." Like, yeah, you might not be wrong on that one. Okay, now we're looking for Gord, and he is usually... So you notice I'm doing this in a, like, counterclockwise formation, because I came in here at the bottom, and Paula is usually found around this area. And so then I still kind of go and work my way clockwise around. So here's backstage, counterclockwise. I work my way counterclockwise away. So, Klorzak Bora is going to say, it says, "I'm going to blame B4 for making a plugin that makes me click." I assume he made it. He did make it. This one he did. This is Festival Buddy 2. Oh, Gord is over here. Now, oh yeah, so notice I didn't check off Danar, and I'm not going to check off Gord, because it's going to do what B4 just said there in the chat. So, boom. It'll automatically check them off once you find the 6th one, he said. So there you go, which is really nice. Okay, so now I need to turn in that quest, because that's done. So we just finish our way around the clock and come out at 6 o'clock. And there's our guy. Hello there. Finish that. So the only thing I have left to do is, according to my quick guide, is to turn in honoring healers, but I also need to turn in something floral and turn in the barrels up on top. So I need to go to the craftsman's tier, and I also need to go to the high stables. So, now we have 2 flies. All right, cats are gonna start losing their door here. We have a cat door, and I propped it open because it's easier for our derpy cat to get in and out. But I think he's in.
He's on the couch.
Yeah. Do you want to go ahead and close it? I think they're done going in and out for now. Okay, so we're going to go up to the craftsman's tier, go into the House of Craft, and turn in honoring healers to the postmaster. So we'll get that done.
These are troublesome times indeed.
Thank you. Yes, meow. Yeah, before it says I was typing the names of the ones that I found into chat to help me remember. But this is, I like this because I can just check it off. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
I like this way better. Dun, 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 dun. So I figured since today is the last day, I would finish off every one of the quests that I had that was outstanding. Like, I don't do the honoring healers every day, and I don't do, you know, like there's various ones that I don't do every day. But I thought, well, you know what, it's the end, so today's the last day. Okay, so now I know I've got a couple more to do, to turn in, but let's see. I'm going to go ahead. So the quick guide thinks I'm done, right? It's all done. Now I could reset it by clicking this button here, and it gives me all the quests all over again. So that way, like the next time I come in and I'm doing stuff, they're all ready to go. Or I could wait and just reset it when I start. Like either one's fine. So a cool thing is, so yeah, now he's got this quick guide built into Festival Buddy 2. So in the future, if there's any other festivals where there's a bunch of like kind of overlapping things like this, because you end up here with this Minas Tirith one, like you pick up a bunch of quests at the top and they send you, like one of the quests sends you to 4 different locations. And then you have other things that you're doing at the same time as you're doing this, and then you pick this up when you go to the second tier, and like you've got all these things that kind of interweave themselves. And so it doesn't necessarily lend itself to pick up a quest, finish the quest. Pick up the next one, finish that one. Like a farmer's fair does or something. So the quick guide can be very useful if we have other festivals as we're going along and we're like, oh, you know, it would be really handy to have, you know, something that lets you check things off or any of that business. So it's cool that it's now built in and we're able to make use. He'll be able to make use of that in future iterations. So that's fun. Okay, got those turned in, and and that's all done. Okay, so let me. Oh yeah, complete a fondness for festivity, intermediate, which would be, let's see, is it listed? Oh yeah, it would pop up the next day if I came back. But today is the last day of the Midsummer Festival. It finishes at 3 o'clock in the morning server time, which is US Eastern time. So if you are doing the Midsummer Festival, you'll want to do as much of it as you can today, because today is your last day until next year. Oh, we were talking about steeds, and I did skip over one set of steeds real quick. I was going to show you. Oh, there's Gold Song. Hello. Let me wave. If you scroll to the bottom, there's 4 different steeds that are listed here. There's the Blackroot steed, and the Lamedon steed, the Lebanon steed, and the Losnark steed. So each one of these are different steeds that you can get. And you can also get the cosmetic, the War Steed cosmetic versions as well. So like this one, it's got like little cherries looking things. And they each have like this standard, like this big flag sticking up. So that's not my favorite, because I don't necessarily want this big standard sticking up as I'm writing, but I do appreciate that these are all connected to the areas that are nearby, and that would be helping out, you know, in some form. So that's kind of cool. So that's the Lebanon one, and Lebanon. Oops. Yeah, the Lambadon is kind of yellows and silvers and grays. And then the Blackroot is this one, which is kind of whites and blacks and a big circle and stuff. So if you have a particular aesthetic that fits well with one of those, now is also a good time to pick those up. So, all right. Was there anything else I wanted to get? So I've got, how many festival tokens do I have left? Festival Buddy tells me, which I like that. 181. Oh, of course, it's also right there. So I have 181. The cap on this festival is 250. There's a cap, which is kind of sad. So I could buy more stuff if I wanted to. Let me think. Let me see. Did I get... Oh, I did get the summer concert accessories for my War Steed, because we just got War Steeds here. And actually, let me go to Midsummer Steeds. And I did get the Entwining Blossoms War Steed cosmetics also. Good. I thought I was going to do that, so wanted to make sure I did that. And let's see, what else do I want? I bought a whole bunch of the housing stuff. We ended up starting to buy extra cosmetic pets because they're not bound. Because a lot of stuff, well, some of it is. The kite is bound to your account on acquire. The summer concert Firefly is not. The chipmunk's not. So most of them are not bound to your account if you purchase them. So we were getting a whole bunch of extras, and we're giving them away because we just had a big server party on Saturday, and so that was kind of fun. So I was half tempted to get some extra stuff, because we might do another server party like around the Yule Festival, but it'd be fun to give some of this stuff away. But I think we have a bunch left over because, I think I shoved it into my shared storage. Oh my gosh, my shared storage is bursting at the seams, let me tell you. Yeah, so we've got the Midsummer Garments, which is great. We've got a bunch of that and summer concert garments and stuff. And then... oh yeah, I got Tomes of the Squirrel, the Blue Firefly, the Gondor Kite, and I've got some white Hurons that I got from one of the other festivals. So, okay, so I think aside from maybe the silver squirrel. You know what? I'm going to grab a couple silver squirrels because those are cute, and they remind me of the if you are if you do, there's some Hobbit quests that you can do in Tuckborough, and there's one where they think the ghost of Old Took is in there, but it turns out to just be a squirrel. Sorry, spoilers. And so I like to have like a little silver squirrel because in the Harvest Math Festival, there's a spooky area, and you run across the ghost of Old Took, which is like a little ghost of a squirrel. And so I think the silver chipmunk kind of looks like that guy. So I'm going to grab a couple of those real quick to give away. Okay. Yes, just right. Sandy points out we have plenty of pies and ales for the next party too. Yeah, we are well set on a whole bunch of this stuff. I don't think we got to make anything. We just got to figure out where to stuff it until the next one.
Send those back to after.
Okay, cool. I have a volunteer who's going to hold on to this stuff. That's great. Aaron Bard asks, were the Lost Snark and other horses part of the anniversary giveaways? No, I do not believe so. I think, the only way that I've seen them is through here. Actually, if you're ever curious where you can get a mount, this applies to everything, is if you click on it, it will tell you in the box below how you can get it. Now, if there's multiple ways to get it, though, sometimes it won't have like the second option in there. But I believe that none of these were in the giveaway. What did they do for the 15th anniversary giveaway? I do seem to recall there was a horse they did for that, though. Let me see. Nope, nothing under anniversary. Anything for 15? Nope, nothing for 15. Of course, I'm just looking at the ones I have, but I would have it, so I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I thought I got that is on my brain too. Now the Festival Azure pony, you get that in your 5-year gift box, which is this blues and stuff.
Look at Crystal.
Yeah, but no, was there something that everybody got? Steed of Crystal Resolve? Okay, let me look that up. Okay, there we go. Thank you. So this one. So the Steed of Crystal Resolve. We got that as a gift? No, that's anniversary tokens. Okay, no, you can buy that for anniversary tokens. I thought, though, at the 15th anniversary, we might have been gifted something. Oh, no, I can't remember. So, anyway. Let me see. Steed of Starlight. Oh, limited time available during the anniversary. So that might have been it. That might have been what we were all given for our 15th anniversary, was the Steed of Starlight. That, yeah, I think, yeah, that, before saying that was an account-wide gift that we all got. And again, it's got like that standard though. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of having a big flag hanging next to me when I'm riding. So I tend to not use that one. In fact, I'm going to get off of this one and get back on my firework-laden goat because it's cute. It's cute as heck. I love my little firework-laden goat. That one we got from, I want to say the anniversary festival. Yeah, that was this year's anniversary festival steed. That was the new one. And I think it's adorable. It's one of my faves. All right. Let's see. So we've got like another 15 minutes or so. So we could pop out to somewhere and do one of the other dealy bobs. So let's pop down to, is that Kellendam? Kellendam. Let's go down to Kellendam. So I think I mentioned this last week that during the festivals, a lot of times there's like a main hub where the festival activities are happening, like the Party Tree or Breland Festival Grounds or something like that. Also, though, there's often something going on in those starter area zones, basically. So there'll be something up near Thorin's Gate or in Thorin's Hall, maybe. There'll be something down here in the Kellendam or Dooland region. There'll be usually something in the Shire. And then there's usually something in Bree or Breland Festival grounds, or somewhere in that really close in that area. And it'll pertain in some fashion to the festival. It will give you festival tokens. It'll somehow be connected with the festival. So this one, for this festival, the 2 quests for the elf area, there's one here in Kellendam and one up in Doolin. The one here in Kellendam is really neat. This guy is a lantern maker, and you can see the lanterns out there in the water floating along. And this is basically, we're not far from the Grey Havens. So the idea being that, the lantern maker tells us that he crafts lanterns for those who have sailed west so that their lights may shine in Middle Earth again for just a while. Their loved ones come to send the lanterns downstream, and if they can't journey here, he places the lanterns into the river on their behalf. But he's running out of beeswax, so this is where you come in. He's running out of beeswax for the candles, and so he'd like us to go up and gather some more from the beehives near the entrance to Limael's vineyard, and he's going to keep working on making lanterns while we go grab him some beeswax. So that's how we participate in this aspect of it. And then, we'll come back to that. And then one of the cool things about these quests is the quests that were all in Minas Tirith. Those give you 3 festival tokens for each time you complete those. These quests in the outer areas are going to give us 1 festival token, but there's also these kits that you can get for this festival, and you can craft the kit into something that you then turn in for festival tokens. So if that's another way that if you want to, you can, like, sometimes I'll go and I'll stock up on a bunch of these kits, and then I'll have one of my crafters, like if I have each one of the different crafts abilities, so like forester, cook, jeweler, etc. There's a thing that they can craft. So I will grab, a crafter and do all the stuff that they can do, and then I'll grab the next crafter and do all the stuff that they can do, and just end up with these stacks of buns and banners and centerpieces and that sort of thing. And then just leave them in my shared storage, and then just as my characters come through, just like boom, 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 turn them in, and get a whole bunch of festival tokens that way. And it's a quick way also to get through if you need 10 festival quests, be like, boom, done. I haven't really been focusing on that this festival though. So I've been collecting the kits, but I haven't been crafting them. So I figure next year I might do more of the crafting because I've done so much collecting, You get the kits from doing these outer quests, and also, hang on, let me see where I am in terms of I'm kind of getting towards the edge right there. And also if you do the Fireflies quest, they also have it for you. I do not need your cabbage. Thank you very much. So the beehives are kind of around the edge. You see the circle down there, the little red circle, way over there, straight across there. The beehives are kind of on the outer edge of that circle. So if you're trying to find the beehives, using your select button is a fantastic way to do that. By default, delete is your select option. And I'm going to go grab those branches. They're just sitting there waiting for someone to take them. Might as well be me. This is not a friendly place for a low-level character. Because there's wolves and the fly thing. What is that thing called again? The veil fly. And yeah. So Minas Tirith, nice and safe. Do all the quests there if you're level 8, as it were. And funny thing is, you get plenty of experience from doing festival quests. So I have done that before, where I will take a character in who's pretty new. When Brawlers came out, brawlers came out right around the same time as the Harvest Festival. So I got my brand new brawler, took her over to the Harvest Festival at like level 8 or something, and maybe even lower than that. And there is an encounter that you can do in there, and she almost like perished inside the haunted burrow. So that was pretty funny, because you can get into a fight with a little hobbit. And yeah, and she did. And I was like, oh my gosh. It was really close. But we survived. Anyway, so my brawler did level up pretty well there. So we've given him the beeswax, and he's very grateful. And for doing so, he's allowed us to put a lantern into the water also as a help. So these you can get as a housing item. So those are the open ones. These are the closed ones. And then these are the partially closed ones right here. So you can get that as a housing item for your house as well, with festival tokens. So that's really neat. I like that. Okay, so let's, we'll hop up to Thorin's Hall real quick. So we did one of the elf ones. We'll go do one of the dwarf ones. Oh yeah, so now I have one of these wedding centerpiece kits that I got from the elves. So that's what they like to give. These guys are going to give the drinking horn kit. Shocking. Right. All right, so we need to get into the inn and talk to a guy about a thing. He's over here. Dances are on, so if you don't know all the dances, now's a great time to do it, because they're available during the festival. You can only do one of each type each day. So like this guy, the dwarf dance leader, you can only do him once a day. You can only do the dances of man once a day, and so forth. But if you fail it, you can try it again in 20 minutes. Okay, so this guy is the barber, and he is shining the beards of the dwarves, so they will be ready for the festival. So there we go. We're shining his beard. Shine, shine, shine. Look at him. He's so shiny. I shall be the talk of this year's Midsummer. Well, there you go. Good job. I like it. So we're looking for unkempt dwarves. Dooby-dooby-doo. Shiny, shiny, shine. Aye, that'll do. And we've got another one out here in the hallway. And then we might have to go upstairs for some more. I just imagine that we're like getting the goop on our hands and then like shining their beards or something. And, you know. Can I ride? Yes. Let me get on my goat. Get on my goat. Doop-doo. There is another quest in Thorn's Hall where they send you out to gather a whole bunch of stuff. And we did that last week on the stream, so I don't feel like we need to do that this week on the stream. I'm pretty sure we turned it in. Yeah, we did. I shall be the talk of this year's Midsummer. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Hey, I'll show you guys something kind of cool that if you didn't know it's there. It's a cool little hidden gem, as it were. So in peppered around are outfitters. That is the name of their profession. So like this guy, he's an unkempt dwarf. That guy's a hunter trainer. This guy's a watcher. And one of these guys over here is an outfitter. So they have various cosmetic pieces that you can pick up, and they're great for role-playing, or if you want something a little different than what you find at the festivals, or it's in between festivals and you're looking for something different. The majority of the stuff is found at all of the outfitters, but each outfitter has a couple of things that you only find at them. Like the plain hooded cloak and the plain cloak, those are at all the outfitters. But let's see, what is it? Scholars. The dwarf made shirt and trousers, I think, and the dwarf made hauberk. I think those are only available at this particular outfitter. So that's kind of a fun little thing you can do sometimes, is to pop around and be like, what do I think of this? What do I think of that? Like I have this outfit, and I think her shirt is green, maybe, because you can change the shirt color. And so, like my character on Laurelin, she's a farmer, and her family are all farmers down in the South Farthing. And so during the farmers fair, it makes sense that, you know, her family, the harvest has happened, and they are bringing their harvest up to the farmers fair. And so I dress her in that outfit during that time because she's very busy helping out the family and doing all the work that needs to be done to get the harvest to the fair. So, so that one's kind of fun. I like to, you know, so it's kind of fun to see some different outfits there that you might not see other places. So that's kind of fun. Oh, hey, I can write it all the way down here. All right, so he's going to give us legendary item experience, which is nice. Midsummer token, just one, but we get the drinking horn kit from him. So that's kind of cool. Okay, so let's see. We did an elf, we did a dwarf. So now we're missing hobbits and humanses. So, oh, that's not where I want to go. Let's go to... Where is that? Hobbit and Bywater. Perfect. That's where I want to go. I have gotten so used to having a milestone, excuse me, at Hobbit and Bywater because of Green Dragon Friday. On Fridays, on the Laurelin server, there's a Hobbit role-playing event that takes place at Hobbit and Bywater, which is, so I'm here, which is just down the road there. And this is the closest milestone. So I'm so used to having that milestone. So when I start doing things with anybody else, even though they're not on Laurelin and not doing that, I still am like that's the first milestone I think of when I want to get to this area. So now if you're a hunter, you can set your hunter campsite travel to the top, which is right here, this campsite fire. We're currently questing out in somewhere else. So I have my campsite fire set somewhere higher level. But that's really handy when you're popping back and forth here to the festival. So, okay, so there's 2 quests in each of the areas, like I mentioned. Both of the Hobbit quests are right around here, so that'll be easy. So we're going to pick up the Sneaky Hobbit, and she wants us to deliver invitations to people that will send them to the wrong place for a wedding, because we don't want them to go there. Because they're obnoxious, and we want to make them go not to the... People are, we want people to have a good time, and they do not let people have a good time. This other one I just picked up is we're going to put some stinky flowers in these vases, but we can't be seen by these guys, these helpers. So we're going to wait for this helper to not be right here where he would see us. Yes, 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 we're waiting, we're waiting. Waiting, waiting. Now, when he's not an eye. When he's not an eye, he isn't going to see you. But we're going to do this, and he's far enough away. And then the other table is over there. Where's the other eye? All right, I think we can sneak in here right now. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak, sneak, sneak. Sneaker, sneaky, sneaky. We did. Yay, we're good. Okay, now we're going to go deliver some of those invitations. So we'll take care of that. Bum, bum, bum. Then we'll ride up the hill, because there's one hanging out with Lobelia and Lotho. Shocking. So we'll go deliver that one. Hello, Appledores. And go around. And then the other ones are down in the Hobbiton area. So we'll ride down the hill in just a second. So there's that one. Because a couple of them are on the way. So basically we're going to hit these little dots along the way. So one of them is over here by where you might do some farming in your early days. They're listed as troublesome hobbits.
Good day.
So, let's see. Well, it's about time. Oh, I do hope they'll have meat pies. So one of the people, you give them their invitation, and like they say something about how they were there for 3 days last time, and you're like, oh my goodness. Like, no wonder they don't want them to come back. They didn't leave for 3 days. Oh my gosh. Like, that's a long time to hang out at somebody's house for a wedding that you may or may not be a part of. Let's see. So that guy, he walks this way. What else do we have? Ah, here's one walking up and down the lane.
Lovely days.
Okay, and then there's one that kind of comes out of this house and walks up and down this lane.
Good day.
Okay, and all right, so that is, oh no, I'm missing one. But it says it's north. Oh yeah, they're on the fence over by the gaffer. Well, that's convenient because we have to turn in that quest for the stinky flowers. Well, we are over 2 hours at this point, so I'm going to finish up these quests and start working on wrapping up.
A lovely day.
So if you have any last minute questions or anything you wanted to talk about before I log off, let me know. Okay, so we're going to turn that in. Oh, I should have showed you we're getting a little pie. I'll show you. I get it from the other one. The little buns recipe. So she's going to give us legendary item experience, 1 festival token, and a strawberry bun baking kit. So because I did both of those, I have 2 of those, 1 from each of them. And then I've got the drinking horn from Thorin's Hall. I got the strawberry bun baking kits from these guys. I got the wedding centerpiece kit from the elves. So here, I'll just pop over to Bree and we can take a look. While we're doing that, I'm going to grab my Hobbit gift because I didn't do that yet. 3 Dale Men's Crams. Who doesn't want that? I feel like I don't use them. I don't find them as useful as perhaps some people do. So the last 2 quests that we could possibly do, the Bree ones. And so I'll go ahead and at least pick this one up and show you. So she's a potter. Her assistant knocked a bunch of stuff down. She needs to make more stuff. So she needs some willow boughs from the willow tree out here. Not the Whomping Willow guy, but the other one. Not the Old Man Willow. We need to talk to Maud Tatter, who's down here. She's a tatter. We need to collect some pine logs, which are out here. And then we need to collect some clay, which is up there. So you can see it kind of sends us in a whole bunch of different directions. The other one, because remember I said there's 2 in each of these areas. And the other one is with Butterbur in the Prancing Pony. So we can pop up there and take a look. Have a little chat with him. Real quick, the legendary servers had a thing where you could make your game more difficult. There was this difficulty addition that you could do, and now that difficulty option has been dribbled out to the regular servers also. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. So the person you want to talk to if you want to get that is this guy right here, the Hardened Traveler. And so when you talk to him, you can pick which level of difficulty you want to do. I'm currently at, there it is, difficulty 7, also known as Heroic. So I'm at that level right there. And then throughout the game, as you're interacting with the enemies, as you're defeating enemies, tokens of heroism might drop. And with those tokens of heroism, you can come back to this guy and give them to him. So I am going to give him 20 tokens of heroism, and he's going to give me 5 heroes marks and some reputation with his particular faction. And so with those, then I can barter and get, well, I can get some different potions, but then I could also get like these epic versions of emotes. So I have 29, I need 30, so I'm getting close, but I'm not quite there yet. And so those, turn in the tokens of heroism for these tokens to barter with him. He's got 3 different versions. He's got like a tier 1, a tier 2, and a tier 3, where you do 10, 20, or 30. And so each time I have the option, I pick up those tasks because I want to make sure I do them, because they are resetting in a day and 7 hours and a day and 13 hours for those. So yeah, if I had a whole bunch, because there's a cap on your tokens of heroism, so it's kind of important to make sure that you trade those in on a regular basis if you're doing that. Anyway, okay, so Barliman has people are partying, and he wants us to retrieve some abandoned mugs. So he wants us to tidy up, and then he also wants us to ask the drunken revelers to get off the tables. There's a lot of drunken revelers, so you are not going to run out of those folks. They just keep appearing. You'll notice there was one behind us, and then there's another 1, 2, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's 11 in this room, and I just need like 8. So that part doesn't take very long. The mugs, because you only need 6 of those, but you do need to find 8 mugs. And so that's really what I try to focus on, is I'm like, okay, where are the mugs? Get those, and then get the revelers on my way, because there's plenty of them. Oh, we were talking about instruments earlier. So like, here's a bard. Oh, I can't talk to the bard. That's not a bard. That's a minstrel trainer. There's a bard here. Hang on, I'll find him. There he is. Other side. So this bard of Bree, he has the same thing as like the Gammer that I was talking about over in the Shire. So he's got like the basic bagpipe, bassoon, clarinet, cowbell, drum, fiddle, flute, harp, horn, lute, pibgorn, theorbo, and then he also has the Lute of Ages, the Misty Mountain harp, and the Student's fiddle. And the Student's fiddle, I think it has a different sound, but I can't remember what. The Lute of Ages has a little bit deeper sound than the basic lute. And let's see, the basic fiddle, one of the fiddles has like a plunk sound. Let's see, does it say here? One of them is a picking sound. So like, pick, 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 pick. The student fiddle adds mistakes to your song, says Aaron Bard. That's funny. I thought it might do something like that. But which is the one? One of the fiddles is like, and I think one of the fiddles is kind of more of a little bit like deeper sound. But then there's one that is a pick, sound. So that's kind of cool. So I like the fact that there's different instruments that give you a different sound. I might have it actually. Hang on, let me pull up my songbook. Do I have it listed? There it is. The Traveler's Trusty Fiddle has a plucked sound to it. Yeah, Trusty's plunk. Yeah, cool. So that's, I like the fact that you've got different options. So if you want to have that kind of a sound, you can use a different fiddle. Okay, so we've picked up all the stuff we need for Barliman. We'll turn that into him. Bum-ba-dum. And he's going to give us Legendary Item Experience, a Midsummer Token, and a Banner of the Newlywed Kit. So that's where we get those kits. So now we have all 4 of the different kits in our inventory. So I've got the Banner of the Newlywed Kit. That's if you're a woodworker or a tailor, you can make those. The drinking horn kits for metalworkers and weaponsmiths, I believe. The baking kit is for cooks, and the wedding centerpiece is for jewelers. I could be wrong on the metalsmith or the weaponsmith one, but anyway, you've got, everything. You've got something you can make. So that's very cool. Ooh, those Eleanor fireworks appear to be possibly unbound. Well, if that's the case, oh, I don't have any room. Well, I'm shoving stuff over to you later on. All right. Well, I think we are about to switch over. So before is gonna get ready over on the side. His stream will be about Lord of the Rings online plugins, of which I partake of quite a few. And so he does plugin development and can show you like what it's like behind the scenes of all that stuff. So Spundot says, before you go, I'd like to thank you for showing off all the festival stuff and showing me how to get to the festival. Oh, you are very welcome. I'm still muddling around trying to go up and down tiers. Yeah, that happens. But I'm getting there. Yay! Thanks so much. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad you're having fun with it. And sometimes I think some of the discovery is some of the fun parts too. So, don't feel like you have to follow exactly what I did. Like, go off the beaten path, because there's some really lovely areas in Midsummer Minas Tirith that don't have anything to do with finding this, that, or the other, but it's really cool just to end up there and see see some cool stuff. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Yay. And what did we say? The next one, Farmer's Fair, is... When is Farmer's Fair? Hang on, let me look at that again. August 17th. So, boy, we have over a month before our next festival. But, well, by then you'll be, Spundot, you'll have been wandering around Lotro for another month. So you'll be like, this will be easy for you then, right? Yeah, we'll have some fun showing you around Farmer's Fair stuff then. Oh, neat. You found, that's what it says. I found the top where I could look off into the countryside and surrounding area. That was cool. Yay. Yeah, Minas Tirith is amazing. It's like so massive. It's pretty neat what they've done with it. So, all right. So Lord Zakvora says, before will show us his Lua skills. Yes. One hopes. All right, so I'm going to head out here. Next week, we'll probably go back to playing around with the allegiance system with the Zul'Ruka dwarves, because we have a bunch of that stuff still to do. And then, yeah, I think that will probably take up most of the time next week, but if not, we'll find some other mischief to get into. We always do. So, all right. Well, thank you everybody for joining me on this fun adventure in the land of Middle Earth. I always say that I really like running around in Middle Earth. I just think it's so cool that I get to, play in this big open playground where I can be a hobbit in a cute little dress, running around on fun mounts and, climb around on things, and I just have a good time with it, right? So I'm glad that you guys get to come along and enjoy this day with me and have a good time with me. So thanks for coming along. And as I always remember to stay connected to the Hobbit side of your heart, in which you will be taking care of yourself and taking care of others, I hope. All right. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. And I'll see you in the chat, and I'll see you next week. All right. Bye-bye.
Good